We might just be looking at the biggest AI leak of the year, and it's all happening right out in the open if you know where to look. Today, we are going to decode the secret testing of what looks a whole lot like Gemini 3.0. And believe me, the trail starts somewhere you'd never expect. Okay, I know it sounds pretty bizarre, but this is exactly where the story kicks off. Senior folks at Google started posting these super cryptic messages. One person posts a picture of a single banana. Another one drops a hint about a very appealing week ahead. Get it? Now, these aren't just random food pics. In the world of big tech, this is usually a coordinated signal. It's like the first little breadcrumb that something massive is happening behind the scenes. So let's dive right in. The internet is absolutely buzzing with all kinds of rumors, leaked code, and these wild, unconfirmed test scores. In this explainer, we're going to put on our detective hats, we're going to follow the evidence, separate what's real from what's just noise, and really try to figure out what a potential Gemini 3.0 could mean for every single one of us. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with those first strange clues, then we'll look at the hard evidence in the actual code. After that, we'll dive into the wild rumors, get a glimpse of what the future might look like, understand why any of this actually matters to you, and then wrap up with a look at the possible timeline. Let's start right at the beginning. We're talking about those mysterious signals that started coming from inside Google, the ones that got the entire AI community buzzing and asking, what is going on over there? Look, on their own, these posts just seem kind of silly, right? You'd probably just scroll right past them. But in the tech world, and especially at a place like Google, things are rarely this random. These are basically coordinated winks to the community, a little inside joke to signal that something huge is being built. This wasn't the fire, but it was definitely the first puff of smoke. And this is where the story shifts gears. We're moving away from social media chatter and into something way more concrete. We're now looking at the single most credible piece of evidence that's surfaced so far, actual code. So before we look at the code itself, you gotta understand where it was found. A CLI repository. That's basically a toolbox for developers. It's not flashy marketing stuff, it's the raw nuts and bolts. Finding a new model name in here is a huge, huge deal. It's like finding the title of a blockbuster movie on the first page of the script before a trailer has even been released. It's the real thing. And there it is. The smoking gun. Developers just digging through Google's own public tools found these exact lines. The main takeaway here is that this isn't some anonymous rumor from a random forum. This is hard evidence, in black and white from Google's own backyard, that they are actively testing models with the Gemini 3.0 name. And those names, Pro and Flash, they also give us a pretty big clue. If we look at how Google names things now, it strongly suggests we're looking at two different flavors. You've got the Pro model, probably way more powerful and capable, but also slower and more expensive for the really heavy-duty stuff. And then you have the Flash model, which is likely designed to be lightning fast and cheaper for all those quick, everyday questions. Okay, so we've seen the hard evidence. Now, we're going to step into the wilder, much less confirmed side of the story. This is where the leaks go from code snippets to explosive but totally unverified claims. So, buckle up. This chart right here, this is what really set the internet on fire. It claims to show Gemini 3.0 scoring over 32% on a test called Humanity's Last Exam. Now, just so we're clear, this test is designed to be almost impossible. It covers the absolute edges of human knowledge. Most of us, we'd score close to zero. A score like this would be a monumental, mind-blowing leap in AI. But I have to hit the pause button here and be absolutely 100% crystal clear. These numbers come from screenshots that have been floating around social media. We have no official confirmation, no research paper, not even a blog post from Google. They could be fake, they could be real, we just don't know. So please take these claims with a massive grain of salt. And then there's the whole mystery of Nano Banana. This thing just appeared out of nowhere. It wasn't announced, but it started doing these incredible things in blind tests. People would give it a really complex command, something like, take this photo and make this person look like Master Chief and that person an anime character. And it would just do it. The leading theory, this isn't a new AI at all. It's a public beta test of Gemini 3.0's incredible new image abilities. So if even a tiny piece of these rumors is true, what could this new AI actually do? Let's try and piece together all the speculation to get a little glimpse of what new features might be on the horizon. The chatter online really seems to be pointing to four major upgrades. First, a massively larger context window, which basically means it could read an entire novel in a second to understand your question. Second, deeper multimodality, the ability to understand and work with text, images, and video all at the same time, seamlessly. Third, built-in planning, so it can actually think through complicated problems step by step. And finally, really tight hardware integration, putting some of that AI power right onto your phone. And this right here is a perfect example of that deeper multimodality. This rumor sounds like pure science fiction. The idea is you could literally draw an app idea on a napkin, take a photo of it, and boom, Gemini 3.0 would generate the actual working code. This isn't just a party trick, it's a fundamental shift in who gets to create software. The hardware rumors are just as exciting. Leaks are pointing to a camera coach feature for future Pixel phones. The idea is Gemini would run right there on your device and give you real-time advice on your photo's framing, lighting, and composition while you're taking it. I mean, it's like having a professional photographer standing right over your shoulder. Okay, a camera coach is cool, for sure. But what's the bigger picture? Let's talk about the so what of all this. How could these rumored features have a real, tangible impact on creators, businesses, and developers? Well, for creators, it can mean you edit complex videos just by describing what you want. No fancy software needed. For businesses, imagine feeding the AI all of your company's documents to create an instant expert that can answer any question. And for developers, or even people who aren't developers, that sketch-to-software idea could totally democratize how apps are made. And that brings us to the final million-dollar question that everyone's asking: when? When could we actually see this thing in the real world? Let's look at the speculative timeline based on what industry analysts and even the prediction markets are saying. Now, I have to say again, this is all just speculation, but the general consensus is pointing to an official announcement sometime in late 2025. That would probably be followed by a preview for big companies in December, with a full public launch for the rest of us sometime in early 2026. And to put a number on it, get this. Some of those prediction markets, where people actually bet real money on future events, are putting the odds of an announcement between September and November of 2025 at a whopping 75%. That shows a really high level of confidence in the community that something is coming, and it's coming relatively soon. So let's bring this all home. What's the bottom line here? It's pretty simple, actually. The code leaks are our hard proof. Gemini 3.0 or something like it is real, and it's being built. All the rumors, from the crazy test scores to Nano Banana, they paint a really compelling and exciting picture of what might be coming, a potentially huge leap in what AI can do. Look, the evidence strongly suggests that the next major wave of AI isn't a matter of if, but when. The kinds of capabilities we've talked about today could seriously change everything, from how we create art to how we build businesses. So the only real question left is, are you going to be ready to write it?